welcome back Under Controller family. Today we're taking our next stop on the Blonde Review's adventure. This time we're reviewing The Incredible Hulk, the second movie released, the fifth movie in chronological order. And Jake once again is on the hot seat for this video. What were your expectations going into this movie?
Honestly, I didn't know what to expect because I know you guys were telling me that this one is not owned by, I guess technically Disney. It's not part of Marvel's canon.
It is part of Marvel's canon.
I mean, it's part of, my bad. It's not owned by Marvel.
Disney doesn't own it.
Disney does not own it.
It's not on Disney Plus. You have to go to HBO Max to watch it.
Which is odd.
But it is after Iron Man 2 and before Thor. And man, what a train wreck it is.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I get ready to do the recap for this one, after watching it, like I said, I didn't know what to expect. Let me back up. I didn't know what to expect. I expected an origin story of the Hulk. That's what I expected. Yeah. And when I get into the recap with this one, I'm gonna be honest with you. The recap's gonna be messy. And there's probably not going to be much of one because I physically do not have the mental capacity
to
recap this movie.
We're filming this right after.
This is immediately after watching the movie.
And that movie is so exhausting because it's only an hour and 50 minutes long?
I was about to say,
but it feels like a lifetime.
I feel
Probably.
physically, mentally, and emotionally drained right now.
It's supposed to be an origin story, but not only do they not cover the origin at all, there's so much useless dialogue and so much useless backstory.
To me, they cover the origin in the prelogue, or like, I don't know what
intro credits.
The intro credits, and it's like, this is what happened. It feels, we were talking about this before we cut the camera on, it feels like
a sequel
of like, here's what happened in the last movie, and here's where we pick it. Here's the origin story. Here is the result of the origin story.
Now speaking about it being a sequel, it's not a sequel, but there is a Hulk movie before it, in the 2003 Hulk movie, but they are not canon to each other, so they don't have the same story. And this one, the origin in the very beginning, it's choppy, it's cut through. It's like if you watch the second episode of the first season of something.
It's literally, it feels like it feels like here's the next part.
It's like a recap. Like here's last week's.
That's really what it feels.
Here's last week's
like
episode. Here's last week's episode. This is what's happening this week's episode. It's just a bad movie.
It felt like a chore to get through. I can't tell you how many times I was just like,
we had to pause it a couple of times just because we were bored.
Yeah, it was very much it did not keep me enthralled. It was very boring.
It does not feel anything like the other Marvel movies at all. The tone doesn't even feel the same.
Like,
it's the only one owned by Universal, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because Spider-Man's owned by Sony. The other Spider-Man movies. And another huge thing that I really did not like about this movie is that all of the effects, whenever they mixed this movie, all of the effects are way too loud, but all of the voice lines are way too quiet. All of the dialogue's way too quiet.
Yeah, and that's something that we were talking about, was this movie comes out after Iron Man. And Iron Man is
perfect.
There is no
highest rated movie so far.
There is no bad, like, you can't hear the dialogue, and then like the repulsors are incredibly loud.
Yes,
it sounds normal.
We had the TV on 100
and could hardly hear the dialogue. And that's not just our hearing, like legit. None of the four of us that watched it.
I can't really hear.
The four of us watching could not hear the movie. I just didn't like this movie a whole lot.
Wasn't great.
So
anyway,
moving to the recap now.
Yeah, I was about to say, I guess we'll hop into
the recap.
This is going to be a short one, Just because
I'm not.
we don't like this movie.
I don't even know what was going on half the time. I was trying to pay attention. So basically, you got a scientist named Bruce Banner. He thinks that he's trying to work on like gamma radiation repellent, basically making humans immune to gamma radiation. Well, it fails, goes horribly wrong, turning him into a monster that we know as the Hulk. Gets angry, or it seems to me like his heart rate gets too high and his anger overcomes.
That's also something in this one. In every other Hulk iteration,
it's literally he gets
tied. It's tied to his emotions.
Yes.
In this one, for some reason, it's tied to his heart rate.
Of his heart rate gets so high, and I guess it's more of it's a sign of his anger. Maybe someone in the comments might tear that apart.
He literally meditates and stuff to get his heart rate down.
Yes.
So you're telling me if Bruce decides he's got to run or have a brisk jog, he's going to turn into the Hulk and start smashing crap?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
That's what, like, shown in the end. Is it like, throughout this time, it's based on if his heart rate reaches 200.
Mm-hmm.
But then, in the end,
it seems like he more learns to control it, kind of.
He learns that, like, his heart rate doesn't have to reach 200 to turn, like, he could easily decide when to or when not to.
So, in the midst of that, he has run away because he's afraid. He's attacked the girl that he loved, and the person who helped him develop this whole project and everything. And he's on the run, and I believe he's in Portugal, is what?
Brazil.
Or he's in Brazil. He's in Brazil, hiding out. The military comes and finds him because they're trying to bring him back home because they think, basically, they're trying to weaponize him. The military's trying to weaponize him. And they attempt to bring him back home. He turns into the Hulk and ends up in Guatemala after his rampage and somehow winds up back in the USA. I don't know how. He jumps from Guatemala to the USA seemingly just like out of nowhere. And he goes to find that girl. I can't even... Betty. Elizabeth, or Betty is what her name is. And he goes to find her. He finds her. Her dad shows up because he's the general of the military.
The entire
big shock. Big shock there. And they have a fight in the middle of a field somewhere.
Out of college.
Yeah, out of college. And there's this other guy that basically takes the same serum that turns him into the Hulk. And
the Abomination.
Yeah, the guy who turns into Emil, right? He turns into
Blonsky.
And he eventually becomes Abomination. And they're fighting and everything. And then he takes Betty and leaves as the Hulk. And then he calms down and they go to a hotel.
Then there's a nurse him back to health
moment.
Scene.
Yeah, and then he's been talking with this guy the whole time about how he can get healed and everything. So they go to find him. And they find him, and then he friggin'
he's blue shirt guy. He messes
blue shirt guy. He injects him with, or he makes him Mr. Blue. He makes him transform, and then he
fills him full of purple drink.
He basically kind of does dialysis of pulling the blood out, and purifying it, and putting it back into his body to help him. I don't even know. I guess heal him, but it doesn't take away the Hulk.
I think they're trying to cure him.
Yeah. They're trying to cure him, but it doesn't work, as we see in the next scene. So then the military shows up because they can't let that happen, and they can't just leave well enough alone. And they show up and they arrest or detain Bruce and are trying to take him back to I don't even know where. Well, then Emil talks to the doctor that cured Bruce Banner and was like, "Hey, look, yeah, I want the same power." So he injects him with the same power and turns him into the Abomination.
And one thing about this is that blue shirt guy went from wanting to help Bruce to being like, "Yeah, I'm mad with power" in like one scene.
Literally.
Like he sees Bruce turn into the Hulk and he's like, "Oh, this is cool."
It's like, we can do this better.
He's like, "This is neat."
Yeah, we can do this better. So then he turns Emil into the Abomination, and we think that he turns into something like Hulk because it has a scene.
He gets the blood on him, and then they never touch on it again
in this movie because you said that it's later.
Jake, that movie has been out for
that's
a long time.
2008.
That's coming.
Does he really show back up? Who is it?
Hang on. Don't tell me because I don't know.
Oh, I'll tell you later.
Yeah,
it's a huge
later.
Speculation, but I'll tell you about it later.
So
is it gonna make me mad? Is it really?
No.
Is it gonna make you turn into the Hulk?
No.
So then
it's a character you might not even know.
Okay.
And it's like a speculation at this point.
Okay.
So I'm not
then
gonna say it on the camera in case someone's like,
You're wrong.
I don't want to be leaked on this.
Yeah.
I just
So-
give off like a major spoiler.
So then, hang on, let me reorganize my thoughts because my brain's all over the place because this movie put it all over the place.
We're at the abomination part.
So then the abomination goes on a rampage, and Bruce is like, "Oh no, I gotta go stop him."
I'm gonna jump out of this plane.
Then he jumps out of the helicopter and smack hits the pavement. And I honestly thought I was thinking to myself, what if he just hits the pavement and just like splatters? That would be. And it's like, oh well,
makes
all right.
his own grave.
But then he turns into the Hulk, and they have a fight scene, and yeah, he beats the abomination. Then he runs off and learns to better control his power.
I will say this. This movie has such a darker tone compared to all the other Marvel movies.
It kind of does.
That scene felt like a missed opportunity.
Especially how he's literally just the abomination just murdering people straight up.
I'm talking about him jumping out of the helicopter.
Oh,
it would have been hilarious if he would have hit the ground and like just went and then turned into the Hulk.
Yeah.
That would have been so funny. It's such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
There could have been so many one-liners and so many funny things.
Yeah.
And Tony Stark shows up at the
very end.
At the very end.
That
Talking
scene
to Ross.
feels like a mid-credit scene, even though it's not.
That scene, that's like the best scene of the movie when Tony Stark shows up. That's
the
best scene of the movie. That was my favorite part.
There is no mid-credit scene. There is no end-credit scene. There's just when Tony shows up.
I feel like that was supposed to be the post-credit scene, but they didn't put it at the post-credit scene because for some reason Universal didn't do that.
I feel like I remember it that way, but obviously not because we just watched it.
Maybe it was, and HBO Max just did a weird cut to it.
I don't know, but go ahead.
That's the recap. That's all I got.
Chase wanted us to mention that in the comic book, it is
what, a gamma bomb?
It's a gamma bomb. He's working on a gamma bomb, and the bomb blows up, and it turns him into the Hulk. In this movie, it's a serum.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the same serum that turned Captain America.
They say that he is doing work in his lab, and he had so much confidence in it that
he tested it
on himself.
Because he thinks that it's like
I don't think he blew up a gamma bomb.
Well, see, it's like it's supposed to be a resistance to gamma radiation, is what it's supposed to be. But it backfires and goes horribly wrong.
Honestly, what a stupid way.
Test it on yourself?
What a stupid way to write a scientist. What?
Well,
Scientists never test anything on themselves. They test on animals. Which isn't right, but they do it.
Like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. Like, Mark Ruffalo is, like, proven to be a smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
So what smart guy's like, I'm not sure if this will work. So let me just try it on myself and see. Like, because,
it gives me mad.
Mark Ruffalo Hulk. Never mind, I don't want to spoil that.
Yeah, don't spoil
it
that.
gives me mad Delver of Secrets vibes from Magic that was the thing of whenever it transforms into insectile aberration it's like, I will be the final test subject. It's like, no, don't test things on yourself.
Never do that.
Such a terrible idea. To be honest, I wish all of the videos were this easy and short to do, but make them more fun.
I don't. Then the MCU would suck.
No. Not that. I just wish that they were easier to recap, like this one was.
Well, if it was a better movie, we'd have more to talk about.
Yeah.
That movie is about a big green dude that punches things, and there's not a lot of punching in it.
There's not a lot going on.
There's a lot of dialogue of just regular lame Bruce.
Yeah.
Honestly. And honestly, nobody cares about Bruce. But Bruce sucks. Hulk, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Bruce Banner sucks. Hulk, cool.
You don't watch The Incredible Hulk to see the mundane Bruce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not trying. I don't want to peek into Bruce's life. I want to see what's happening with the Hulk.
Hey, you saw a little bit more Bruce than you wanted to in this movie, didn't you?
They tried to play hide the zucchini. You see this man's butt cheeks. It is.
And Tyler said that's what's going to get him through to tomorrow.
Don't give away my secrets. Don't tell people my secrets.
I'm just kidding. But any questions you have for me?
Movie.
60 out of 60. I saw.
Okay,
I can't even remember.
You can tell we love this movie.
What's my favorite
What's the
part?
actor's name that plays that Bruce?
Edward Norton.
10 out of 10 movie. I saw Edward Norton's butt cheeks. 1,000%.
Even he saw the movie and was like, "Nah, I'm out on this."
Yeah, I'm out. He saw it and was like, you know what? I don't have to be Hulk anymore.
But I was saying that, like, from here on, the rest of them are good.
Oh yeah.
Other than you said Iron Man 3.
Dark World, not that great.
Yeah, there are some like low
There's
points.
ups and downs.
Yeah.
But there's
like,
a lot more ups than there are downs.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, everything up to this point's been great. This has been the first one that's kind of like, man.
There are 2 more downs, but the rest,
It's
maybe
like imagine going and watching Iron Man and then watching
seeing
this
this
movie,
trash fire?
and then it's just like, oh man, am I in or out at this point? Because you had a movie that's like here, and then you have a movie that's down here.
But here's also the thing: at this point, they weren't. They
weren't trying to tie it all together.
They
at this
hadn't
point, right?
told people that there's going to be an MCU.
Yeah, that they were trying to tie it all together.
I don't think, did they? They didn't tell people there was going to be a canonic universe. It's just Tony showed up at the end, and you're like, oh, what could this be?
Yeah, it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Because when I watched these movies when they came out, I was little.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing Tony, and I was like, what is he doing here?
Yeah.
And that was all I ever thought
Iron
about.
Man
I was like,
and
why is
seeing
he
this and
here?
be like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense.
I was like, isn't he from this other movie? Can't
Yeah.
be. And then I was like, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm gone.
Then you see Nick Fury in the first Iron Man, and you're like,
Well, also Nick Fury is like written on documents and stuff in the opening scene. If you see Nick Fury written on some stuff,
You also see Stark Tech.
Stark Industries is on a lot of stuff.
you kind of have like an idea of like something larger.
Something's
is coming.
going on here.
Yeah.
So I do want to start this off differently, not
Okay.
with your favorite part. So like we were saying, we watched these movies whenever they first came out. We had a lot of hype going into them. We were very excited to watch them. I just watched Wakanda Forever. And I was very excited to watch that movie.
Yeah.
So were you excited to watch this one? If our influences weren't on it, would you, like, you just heard Incredible Hulk?
You just watched Iron Man.
To be honest, I think Incredible Hulk is probably like my least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just because he hasn't gotten a lot of love because he doesn't have, the only movies that he's in is with other, like he's in the Avengers and he's in Thor Ragnarok. Like that's it. He doesn't.
He gets more cartoon love.
Yeah.
Mainly because he's hard to. You got to CG every scene he's in.
I can see that.
He's an expensive character.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I can see that.
Which when everything else can be practical, like Tony's suit, they have a. I don't know if it's CG right now. It might be.
Well, maybe like.
But you can have a practical suit where it's just the eyes glow and he walks around. But Hulk is 100% CG.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't CG him, you get the old '60s green dude with green Crocs.
Yeah. Yeah.
With some industrial paint.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wasn't really happy because like I said, for some reason I just don't like the Hulk. I don't.
Yeah.
He's not really my, because I mean, originally I honestly thought my favorite was Thor. Like just basically like just looking, it's like Thor's probably my favorite, but definitely Iron Man. Iron Man is absolutely my favorite, only because of Tony.
But we haven't watched Thor yet. So whenever I say Mike change your mind.
Also, I think Chris Hemsworth is great at playing.
Oh,
Thor. He's great.
You look at him and you're like, that's Thor.
That's Thor.
That's Thor.
Just like how you look at Jason Momoa, it's like that's Aquaman.
And just like you look at RDJ and you're like, he's Tony Stark. Everything he's in, you're like, hey, Tony Stark's in this weird movie for some reason.
Yeah.
But Tony was written. Stan Lee said he wanted a character you're not supposed to like,
but you do.
But you love him.
Yeah. He's kind of like, not exactly 100%, but he's kind of like the Vegeta
he's everybody's
of the
lovable,
MCU.
He's everybody's lovable scamp.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true. Now hopping back into your normal questions. Did you have a favorite part other than the last scene?
My favorite part, obviously, was that last scene, just because Tony shows up. I think I really liked the fight with Abomination. Like that, finally, I was like, okay, this is a pretty decent payoff.
Something I didn't tell you during it. I don't know if me and you talked about this before, but you know, whenever Abomination has his elbow in him and stabs him,
yeah, I noticed that.
That scar is on other Hulk.
Really?
Because it's the same.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it's the same character.
Yeah,
it's just a different actor.
That's very good attention to detail.
When he goes Hulk, you can see a scar on his bicep or his pec.
From Iron Man 1 to Iron Man 2, even though Rhodey is recasted, it's still the same character.
Yeah. I really like the fight with Abomination. I think it was pretty good. Like, that's the best part of the movie.
I feel like if they had more fight scenes in it, it would have been a better movie.
I felt like they could have like cut out half the movie and just did like I would have been perfectly fine if this movie was an hour and a half instead of 2 hours.
I think
It very easily could have been an hour and a half.
my favorite part is whenever Emil is shooting Hulk and he's like, "Man, you're not gonna do anything." He just kicks
and then he kicks him. Oh my!
And you just see him splat.
Literally, like you see him splat against a tree.
Like that part's funny.
And then they're like, "Oh yeah, his bones are mostly like gravel right now." It's like, oh, yeah. That hurt. That hurt to see.
He was a normal human, and he didn't take the precautions of getting the super soldier serum,
and he got liquefied.
Yeah. He whenever he hit the tree, one side would have went that way, his right side would have went that way.
Yep.
I mean,
my favorite part is when the words show up at the end.
Oh, you mean the credits?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
That's my favorite scene.
At the very end.
When
I get to read who made this trash fire, I'm like, yeah.
I also really like whenever
I thought about making that joke for Captain Marvel.
I really like whenever Emil wakes up and the general asks him, "It's like, how you feel?" It's like pissed off and ready for
that.
Whoa.
That right there. And the friggin' pissed off and ready for round 3. It's like, bro, you 0 for 2 right now. You really need to not go for round 3.
You need to go back home.
The way
take it easy.
Emil's sitting there all hurt and stuff, and then the general
he's just like, "You okay there, buddy?"
barely touches him. Also, there's too much of the looking down, looking up, spiking the camera in this movie. There's like 3 times 3 different people do it.
Yeah.
Bruce does it at the end. Emil does it twice.
Yeah.
And then I think another person does it once. It's like, no, why are all of you this serious? Why do all of you have this, like, I'm going to do this part?
It's like The Office, like, looking at the camera.
Yeah. It's like, all of y'all can't be this dramatic about this. There has to be some sort of...
Zoom in on my face right there.
But, I feel like it is here's the Marvel line. There's some ups and downs, and then the Hulk is like down here.
I was not a fan.
It's the only one that is that bad though. That's the bottom.
Yeah, I would say I can see that.
So you have your own peak, which is Iron Man.
Yeah,
and now you have rock bottom.
So everything else is kind of in between there.
Uphill.
I wouldn't say uphill, just in between.
From Hulk, uphill.
Yeah,
everything.
In contrast to that, my least favorite part is the rest of the movie. I like the scene where they're fighting in the courtyard of the school. That's a pretty good scene, and also, like I said, the fight with Abomination and when Tony shows up, I like that a lot. The rest of it's just kind of like, I really.
The director of this movie is going to be in the comments like, all right, well, you do it then.
Yeah.
Let's see your Hulk.
Your whole podcast is dumpster fire.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Everything on your channel, Magic Monday, awful. Alright, Smoothies is okay.
Okay, look, Magic Monday. Magic Monday is our Hulk. Absolutely, Magic Monday is our Incredible Hulk. It's the absolute worst.
Every day I wake up, it's the Incredible Hulk. Every day. But
that's how we're gonna start describing the terrible times of our lives. Like, man, it's been a real Incredible Hulk today.
It's been an incredible day, honestly.
They should just call this movie a Hulk.
There's a scene
incredible about it.
There's a scene where it's after the college fight, and that they're interviewing the college students, and then out of nowhere, dude, what does he say?
He says it's just like a big Hulk.
Yeah. And I looked at Peyton and I was like, have you ever in your life used Hulk in a conversation?
But that was they had that this is where he gets the Hulk name.
Yeah.
And then whenever Emil is like in the scientist in Mr. Blue's lab, he's like, man, if I mixed all those chemicals together, it would be an abomination.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's like he should have just looked at it's like they all should have just looked at the camera and like,
roll credits.
You need to put that Family Guy scene of Peter going, he said it! He said it! But,
I was like, come on.
It's like, we all know this is a Hulk movie. You don't have to say that.
None of the other ones do they say, like,
It's Iron Man.
Yeah, because we legit.
It's like, man, your suit is made of iron. That makes you the Iron Man.
Yeah, like legit.
We're having a real Superman 3 time right now.
I am kind of happy that they did bring up what his name, Abomination's name is, because we had to look up the name of Warmonger and what was Whiplash. We had to look that name up because we didn't know.
I believe there is a happy medium though.
I think that there's a way that you could say it that it would be
blatantly spiking the camera and going, Abomination is not the way you introduce
no,
a
absolutely
character.
not. I agree with that. Like that was terrible. Yeah, that's terrible.
But also going, that was a
Hulk.
okay.
That's the same as them going, I read this comic book one time with this big green guy in it, and his name was Hulk. I think that was that guy. That's the same as doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really didn't like this movie. We ready to go to?
As you can tell.
Can we go to the
It's a
rating?
Great movie.
Can we please just go to the rating?
Is it 1?
Before we get into the rating, what are you hoping comes out of this movie?
Nothing. Nothing.
Do you have any future predictions of the Hulk?
I know that he doesn't get another movie by himself, another standalone movie.
Yeah.
So
And I believe
apparently this one was not good.
I believe that's because
This movie was so bad.
I think it's a licensing thing.
It's
I
a
think
licensing
I think
thing,
it's
I
a
know.
licensing thing with Universal, and they're kind of like, no, we want the Hulk.
Yeah, we're gonna do something with him. No, you're not. No, you're not.
So instead, Marvel's just like, let's make a bunch of other characters, like
Let's do
She-Hulk
everybody
and
around
Scar.
Yeah.
We won't call him the Hulk, but as long as Hulk isn't in the top,
Green Man.
it'll be okay.
Hey, Greenman.
Green Giant. You're
So-
anything but jolly.
His name's Hulk
But
Greenman.
do you have any like predictions?
Obviously, as we saw at the end of Iron Man 2, Tony is not ambassador, but what did we say? Basically, no, not necessarily. Of course, he's
I'm not sure.
I'm too tired to think of the word, but
I had it before you said correspondent, and then you said correspondent, and
basically, he helps
consultant.
Thank you. He's a consultant for Shield, and they're going to recruit him into Shield.
Mhm.
That's all.
And then apparently, in between those movies, he's took it upon himself to go find people, because he literally went to Ross and said, "I'm building a team."
He said
We're building
a team.
So he's decided he's part of it now.
Yeah. So I would expect him to show up in the Avengers. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's my expectation, or not expectation. That's my prediction.
nice. Excellent.
Hey, I know that one's gonna come true.
But do you?
Yes. Yes.
So
Are
you
you
don't. It's a
sure?
different Hulk.
Yeah,
Nerd.
you're still wrong.
I love how you just said like 10 minutes ago. He's got that same scar because it's the same Hulk.
It's a different actor.
So is Rhodey.
Edward Norton doesn't show back up, so you're wrong.
I feel like he looked at that and was like, "Oh man."
I feel like he should have stuck it through though, because
at least they did get better.
I mean, if he would have stuck it
They
out,
show your butt. You got to stay in for at least 2 more movies.
why was that scene necessary at all?
I don't know what Edward Norton's
I mean, they
contract
could have
was.
just done the him up against the shower and
just
just like
not-
looking up, and then that's it.
Or
Like,
just not have a shower scene. I didn't need to see him bathe.
yeah, like we said, it's kind of just like I guess this is what he's doing while Betty's getting him clothes.
Also,
There's the callback to the purple pants as well.
He has trauma in the shower.
but
Okay, cool.
in no
He's got PTSD.
in no other situation where he turns into Hulk, he doesn't have this period of where he's all tired and beaten up and he needs to be taken care of. What happened whenever he was in Brazil by himself?
Yeah.
Nobody took care of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
he
multiple
just
figured out himself.
Shot him down.
Yeah, was he just laying in the street for a day or two and then he was
Probably.
fine?
Probably.
Maybe.
No, he probably just turned back into Bruce and was fine.
It was like, oh crap.
But
Are we ready
no-
for the rating now?
No,
Please.
they pulled out
One
them
more
subwoofers on him and that really hurt.
Now that you have finished watching this, in the next movie store,
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like I really would.
What's your excitement?
I could have skipped this movie Okay, so you know how bad this movie was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flip that the opposite direction. That's how excited I am to watch Thor. Because like I said, but prior to watching the MCU, Thor was my favorite Marvel hero.
Mm-hmm.
Thor was my favorite. He was the only one I knew much about because I know very little Norse mythology. Very, very little.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very excited. I'm very hyped. You see how much happier I got talking about that movie versus talking about Incredible Hulk.
All right, now let's go back.
Yeah, the rest of them are great. Like Thor's a good movie.
Can we please go to the ratings so I don't have to talk about this movie anymore?
Yeah. We'll get into the ratings.
Okay, cinematography. Y'all know how important audio is to me, right? You guys know how important audio is to me.
It's gotta take away a lot.
3 on cinematography.
Also,
the scenes were incredibly choppy and cut, and it's like I feel like they filmed a 4-hour long movie and then did basically what I have to do when I'm editing our videos. It's like, okay, we've got to cut this, and most of the time I've got stuff that it cuts together and you've got a smooth transition.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like they had no smooth transition in this movie.
It feels like they had like 4 hours of dialogue and 2 fight scenes, and they were like, there's a lot of dialogue in this movie.
Let's cut it down some.
And
also,
also,
it felt like it jumped back and forth between like Bruce Banner and Hulk, and then like what
the military
was doing. It was like whenever you jump over here, this advanced like 3 weeks,
like 3 stages,
and then like you would jump back. And then, like, whatever was happening over here would be like, they were at the Hulk now.
Yeah.
It's very... It's like, we don't know where he is. Can you help us track him down?
Yeah,
we found him.
Yeah. we don't know where he is.
Friggin' Phil Dunphy blew the whistle on him and called him in.
It goes from, we don't know where he is, can you find him? Cut back to Hulk, I'm having a bad time. Cut back to them, we found him.
Yeah.
That's it. And
it's
also, there's no cinematography to be talked about.
I feel like a lot of the things are very forced in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a forced plot line.
Well, I was just thinking, like, think about Emil. Like, he gets there to work with the military, and they're like, all right, you want to take this serum and come?
You want to?
It's like, dude, I've been on one mission.
Yeah, he just got here.
He's been on one mission, and they're automatically dosing him up.
Yeah.
And then he's running out of the bushes with no gun in his hand.
No gun in his hand
to
at all.
fist fight Bruce, apparently.
I could have swore he had a pistol.
He did.
He did.
He picked up a grenade launcher, too, at one point, because he's shooting him with a grenade launcher.
Yeah, well,
then he runs and pulls the pistol and shoots him.
All right, Emil, it's your turn. And he, like, drops his pistol and he turns around to the dude behind him.
And grabs the grenade
launcher. Look, it's a continuity error. He runs out of the bushes with a pistol in his hand. And you see the pistol in his hand when he's running. It cuts back to him. He doesn't have anything in his hand. Cut back to him again. He's got the pistol in his hand. So either he holstered it while he was running and then pulled it back out for some reason because he just thought he was cool.
Like down.
Yeah. he runs down as he's running. As his hand goes down, he just holsters and then goes
every time.
Yeah.
The cinematography it's a lot of just 2 people talking. So there's no cinematography other than the camera being stationary when 2 people are talking.
Yeah.
There's
not even a lot of J cuts and L cuts.
There's no
transitioning between scenes and camera angles.
There's not a lot of camera angles. There's not a
lot. Moving on to plot. Good
plot?
Lord.
Where is it?
I feel like I'm being very ungenerous, but I'm giving it a 2.
If you can sit there and tell me what happened in this movie, it's got plot.
You talk. I mean, you heard me give the recap.
Wait, I want to read what the synopsis of the movie is. I'm gonna pull it up.
If it's short, read it. If it's long, I don't want to.
But it's one of those movies that if you look away for a second, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I felt very like
the mean green superhero is back. He's back.
So is it actually a continuation of the 2003 one?
No, it can't be
because it's not in the canon.
And he needs more anger management lessons than ever in this explosive film starring Edward Norton.
That's it?
That's it. So, yeah.
Maybe we should watch the 2003 one and see if it ties in.
It doesn't.
It doesn't at all.
I'm almost certain it doesn't, but I can't really remember it because I was 5.
Yeah. Plot.
I know that that one's not considered canon.
Yeah.
At all.
Because it's not in the. If you
it's
look
not
up
in the MCU.
If you look up MCU canon, it's not on there.
So plot, I got to give it a 2. Bruce Banner's on the run.
And
The military's trying to find him.
There's no
That's it.
backstory other than
the first
you
5
kinda
minutes.
picked
Of the
up.
The plot is Bruce is hiding, Bruce is found, Bruce fights, Bruce
Yeah.
hides again. That's the entire movie.
Pretty much. There's no plot to it. Easy to follow. I'm also giving it a 3 for that because there's so much going on. It's just
There's too many conversations,
too many things going on.
and there's two parallel storylines going with each other. There's the military storyline and whatever Bruce is doing.
Yep.
And they're going with each other, and they jump cut from both of them at
Yeah.
the weirdest times.
Also, I was thinking, like, even Captain Marvel kind of jumps around a lot, but I still feel like Captain Marvel, you were able to understand more than this
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what's going on with it. So for me, easy to follow. I feel bad, but I give it a 3. There's nothing. There's so many times that I'm watching this movie and I'm just like, what?
This is one of those movies where you sit there.
I feel like I need to watch it again. Is how I feel. I feel like I need to watch it again.
You want to put yourself through that?
No, I don't.
It's one of those movies where you're watching it and you're like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
This has made me tired.
At one point, Sims was even like, okay, this is the part where I usually stop watching the movie.
Yeah, I was just playing like Marvel Snap.
I was too.
On my phone for most of the movie because I'm like,
It's one of those movies where you're watching and you're like, I don't even feel like sitting here anymore.
No.
I want to go outside and do something else.
yeah.
So then, matter of fact, we stopped after we watched the movie and we went and got food and then came back and now we're filming this because we just felt so drained from it. Moving right on to Good Origin.
What origin?
I'm giving it a 0.
The 30 seconds of
I'm giving it a 0
Here's the
because
question.
this feels like a continuation. It does not feel like a origin story.
Here's the question though. Would you swap if instead of Good Origin, if we swapped it to villain, do you think that Abomination / the military is a good villain?
Emil is. Emil is
I
a
will
pretty
agree
good
with
villain.
you.
I like
think
Emil as a villain.
I like Emil.
I feel
as a villain.
I feel like his motivation comes out of left field though.
Yeah.
Of
he
I
Because
get
he's like, I want to stop the Hulk. I want to stop the Hulk. I want to
And
stop
then-
the Hulk.
and then all of a sudden he's
let
like,
me kill
let,
everybody.
let me be the Hulk. And
Like,
I feel like that kind of comes out of left field.
yeah.
And I mean, I get him wanting to take the serum to be like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, let's do it. But then whenever he meets Mr. Blue and it's just like, give me it. And
So
he's
then
just
to increase the points, so I'm gonna say let's change Good Origin to villain.
you want to do that?
Because they barely touch on the origin, really.
I was
Well-
about to say the
well,
origin
but
is
also-
not there.
he's not that good of a villain because his motivation
There's no
changes.
stakes either
But
with him.
would you rather give it three or 4 points for villain or 0 points because there's no origin?
Also,
I'll give him a 5.
There's not even a good hero arc
What I'm-
because there's
But also,
nothing changes, nothing happens,
also
nobody
the thing
develops.
with it of the conflict that they have. There's no back because I mean, look at Ivan. Ivan Vanko had a great backstory with Tony.
Mhm.
Of he's mad because his dad didn't get the recognition that he deserved. He had a good revenge
He
plot.
has motive.
He has a motive.
Emil doesn't have any motive. He's
you look at
just a
you
soldier.
look at Obadiah.
He was just brought in to stop the Hulk.
You
and
look at
now he's
Obadiah.
like,
He's
He
made
had
that.
a motivation.
Mhm.
You look at the Kree. They had motivation. Friggin' Red Skull had motivation.
Mhm.
well, even whenever they're saying like
Emil has no
Hulk
motivation
killed
to
X
turn
amount
evil.
of people whenever he was testing this on stuff, it wasn't even like that person was my dad and that person was it
Yeah,
was
it's
just like he killed 3 of our scientists.
He's evil.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at though is that Emil turns evil because the plot required it.
Yes,
That's why. Like
he is a plot device.
he
but that's
did not.
it.
He had no reason. Like he had no motivation to turn into Abomination. Like at all.
Also, Ross is not a good villain. Why?
Yeah.
Why is he trying to kill Bruce?
I think because Bruce injured his daughter. I think it's supposed to be his big thing. Like, oh, you hurt my family. So
But she's also trying to help him. Wouldn't
yeah.
Wouldn't
you
the
think
same
that he would flip on that?
Wouldn't the sane person be like, all right, you're trying to help him. I'm going to try to help both of you with
Yeah.
all my military expertise and
Yeah.
scientists. I'm going to help too.
Yeah. You would think.
Instead of being like, fire at the Hulk, and then seeing your daughter next to him and be like,
Never mind, don't fire!
Never mind.
Yeah.
See, that was another thing that I was talking about. if you bring like an ultrasonic blast to any superhero fight, half of them are gone. The Hulk, like, they bring the ultrasonic thing and he's like, you can tell that he's weak to it.
Yeah.
Like Venom, ultrasonic radiation, he's down. Like any of the symbiotes, they're down.
Yeah.
Like
the symbiotes hate sound.
Okay.
That's you
The
saw old
symbiotes
Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man 3.
I didn't see the third one.
Dude,
I saw the first and second.
What
I didn't
have
see
you
the third one.
done in your
well, I
life?
just said
I
the
watched
Sandman
different
one.
movies.
He was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's
I
the
watched
same
different
movie.
movies. I didn't watch.
You watched
Yeah, so,
you watched
like,
Jurassic Park like 1,000
I feel
times.
like-
I
feel like
and Star Wars.
The let's make him weak to sound is like such a cliche thing.
It is
Yeah.
such a cliche.
Because I mean, he's not even a symbiote though. So why
No.
why does it make? Why is he weak to sound? Whenever he thunderclaps, does that affect
Yeah,
him?
he can.
Yeah, he
She-
can.
and She-Hulk.
And She-Hulk, she can do it too. The thunderclap thing.
Yeah.
And he's weak there.
Yeah.
So
Maybe he's just got sensitive ears.
Going on, I guess whenever
Yeah,
you get
whenever
bigger
he
and you've
gets
got those
Hulk, yeah.
large
His-
ears,
his-
maybe his eardrums grow. So yeah,
who knows?
I mean he's green like Piccolo,
Oh my
like a
God.
Namekian, and they have supersonic hearing.
They can also grow their limbs back.
I mean, can't the Hulk regenerate? He
No.
got shot like 7,000
He
times.
can't grow an arm back.
Just kidding.
I mean, he might can. We haven't seen it yet.
So going into realism, I don't even
I was about to say a spoiler.
I don't even know where to go with realism. What is the consensus of the table for realism?
Bad.
I don't have.
Bad.
I mean,
In no circumstances would the military be able to drive jeeps onto a school campus, through people's cars, and shoot at a school that people are at.
That's incredibly true. And a helicopter
And a helicopter.
crashes on the camp. And the next day, the news anchors are there, and they're like, "How'd it go?
And
Homie, half the school is dead."
how'd it go? We were all here. Like, it was a Saturday. We were all here.
The plane explodes, and it's just like.
What?
But the plane explodes at the end. It's like boom.
Had more gas in that one.
but anyway, what is the consensus on the table for realism? I don't have.
They're humans on the Earth.
I mean, what do you think?
It doesn't involve space travel.
There has to be like one scene in this that I was like, man, that was real. But like,
Can
I
you?
can't
Can
even.
you?
It felt.
Even think.
Hey, people actually take showers.
He does. Oh my God! It's the only movie you ever see one of the Avengers bathe in. It might.
Yeah.
That's actually.
Holy crap!
Whoa!
That's crazy.
We'll give it a 1. No, I'm kidding.
Give him 2 for both butt cheeks.
I'll give it a 4. I
He's
mean,
scared of the lightning. Many people are scared.
it takes place on Earth. It follows the same with the superhero pattern.
What?
What if that lightning bolt happened because Thor came to Earth?
Whoa! It didn't. But
I know.
whoa.
Anyway, no, but yeah, that goes on. So
You gotta play the X-Files theme there.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. There's one scene where you can kind of see Venom.
you see Morbius though.
It's Morbin
It's
time.
Is it
Morbin
Morbin
time.
time? Gosh, that's so cringy.
I feel like there's so little realism in this.
There.
I don't see.
Blue,
feel like
blue
there's-
shirt makes blood out of nowhere, synthesizes it, makes another Hulk.
You could make blood with stem cells, but he would have
Where's
to
he
have
getting
a
all these
Stem cell research wasn't a big
Yeah.
deal at that time.
Also,
that
stem
was
cell
what-
research
that's
is
what I was
like
thinking
almost
too.
illegal back then.
At that
Yeah.
point.
You'd
I-
have to have a lot of stem cells.
A lot of permits. And
There
I don't
might be
think-
some other way to like make blood.
Which also, I mean,
I don't
let's
know.
look at. He found something that turns him into a giant green monster. So I mean, we can't split hairs too much on it.
That's what the realism column is.
I give it-
splitting hairs.
I give it a 4. That's the best I can. I feel like I'm just dunking on this movie hard, but I really didn't like it.
It's really not good.
I didn't enjoy it.
I mean, if you hold it up to the rest of the Marvel movies, it is not good.
Yeah, it's not. I can agree with that. Moving on to accuracy, I mean,
I guess
Accuracy
like,
to
same thing
what?
with
The
accuracy.
comics?
Yeah, because
He's-
like
he's
we,
the Hulk.
we were even talking about in the Hulk, in the comics, it's the gamma bomb.
Yeah.
And in this,
Yeah,
it's
there's
the super
no
soldier
accurate.
serum.
Yeah. He's. I mean, they share a name.
Accurate.
They do share a name.
They look the same. So I mean, I give it a 2.
This has accuracy to the TV shows. This whole looks just like the
The
ones
dude, from the TV show.
shows.
That's what I give it. So maybe someone will watch this and like do a whole clapback video of like, this is why this movie's good.
I would welcome somebody trying to tell me that this movie is good.
Go for it.
Give me a reason.
In the comments down below, give us your favorite part, give us your least favorite part, give us your rating, and if you think we're wrong, tell us in the comments down below.
Yeah, maybe we're seeing things that.
Maybe we're missing something.
I mean, also,
something.
I think me and Sims went to bed at 1 o'clock this morning, and I've worked all day, and you worked all day, so maybe we're just like
Tired.
ate up with it and tired, and didn't really feel like
Well,
watching
like,
the movie.
I won't even say, because, like, alright, whenever I was a little kid, if I could find the photo, I'll give it to you. But I dressed up as Hulk for Halloween once. So I went into this movie wanting to like a Hulk movie.
And you didn't. Yeah, it was like
And
you were
my
let
first time
down.
watching it, it wasn't good.
Your childhood dreams were
Dude,
broken
like,
and shattered.
Dude, honestly, I'm hyped to watch every single other Marvel movie.
Mhm.
This one, I don't care to see. I want to see the rest of them through his eyes because he's experiencing them for the first time. This one, I was like, he's not gonna like it.
Yeah.
This one, you know, nobody's gonna like.
And whenever, like, even whenever we were talking about rewatching all of them, we were like, alright, Hulk's gonna suck, Iron Man 3 is gonna suck, the rest of them are good, like, for the most part.
Even Iron Man 3 and Thor Dark World,
Like,
which are the two other bad ones,
It's
they
bad,
are
but
better
they're
than
nowhere.
Hulk.
Yeah, that's what I was like. You got, like, our peak, like, Iron Man up here, Hulk's all the way down here. I would still say, though, like, Iron Man
Yeah,
and
they're
Dark World are
only
at least,
slightly below the bar.
Like,
Yeah.
they're not completely awful. Like, I would go back and watch those movies.
Yeah.
This one, I don't think I ever want to watch it again.
I mean, I'm content with watching it this one time.
I could live the rest of my life and not watch The Incredible Hulk again.
Mhm.
With that being said, are you guys ready for my final rating?
Is it terrible?
You ready for my final
Is
rating?
it in the single
5.
digits?
It's not in the single digits, no.
What is it out of 50?
At 60.
60?
This is the lowest rated by a
What you
long
want
shot.
to guess?
I saw it. So.
Dang.
What do you think?
I
I'm
did
gonna
accidentally see
say
it.
like 16.
You're close.
Highest without going over.
I'll say 16.
16?
16.
My final rating, the lowest by a lot, because our current lowest is Captain Marvel at 52. 50. So we got 50.
No. Was it 52?
That's high.
No, 42. My
I
bad.
was like, dang, we got that one high score.
Wait a minute, hang on. I've got my.
I think Iron Man.
It's a 43. My bad. Captain Marvel was a 43. 47 was Captain America. Iron Man was 52. Iron Man 2 was like 48. So I mean, it's still higher.
I can't wait for you to watch the Infinity War and
This
Endgame.
one right here.
Right.
You gonna break the scale. on
Whenever
them
you
two.
get to Wakanda Forever, like whenever we actually do get that one, I'll be surprised if you don't give it a 60.
The lowest rated movie on this one is this one. On this is
of
this
all
one.
time.
19
Oh, I was close.
out of 60 is my rating
That
for
is
The Incredible Hulk.
awful.
2008 Incredible Hulk. I really didn't like it. It's a movie.
If you haven't seen it,
Go watch it.
I mean,
Go check it out.
It feels.
If
it
you
feels
haven't
like
seen it,
Don't.
watch it.
Don't.
it feels
Watch
like
the clips that we put into this. That's the good parts.
it feels like homework, but watch it.
Yeah.
If you want to watch every Marvel movie, watch it.
I
Go
guess
for it.
it's one of them you have to watch.
You don't have to
Not
watch
really,
it.
no.
No, like if you want to watch all the MCU, I guess it's one you have to watch in that set. but,
Honestly,
like,
I think it's the least necessary one to watch. It barely touches on his origin.
I think
It doesn't bring back any reoccurring
there's
characters.
more.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
Brings
gonna
back a
spoil
bit.
it, but I feel like there is some stuff from this that is gonna get brought back, like General Ross.
Oh,
You of course see him later. You see him
General
later.
Mustache comes back.
Mr. Blue. might be seen later. It's all speculations right now.
Yeah, see, it's all speculations now,
I'm
though.
not,
Well, guys,
I'm gonna show you.
Mr.
what
Blue's
I saw.
gonna come back in Phase 8.
join us
when we're
next
fighting
time.
Galactus.
Join us next time whenever we watch and review
A better movie.
Thor. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for sticking it out with us. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on the clock.
We've got a TikTok
If you see
channel.
me in the street, follow me.
Thanks so much for watching this video and for sticking this one out with us. We'll catch you guys
If
next
made it
time.
all the way to the end, you deserve like $1 million.
You deserve a medal.
That's crazy.
Here's a gold star from me to
A
you.
good noodle star.
Thanks, guys.
For being
Let us know in the comments down below
Noodle.
what's some more content you like to see on our channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye.